sorry, tell me if it's okay. Just blue green. Hopefully it's alright. Then
in the hell is this guy? This Sam Heller music is all we get to listen to. Where the hell? All my little tabs are moved around. Gotta turn the TV down. Yelling at me. We're already waiting to start the show. Where the fuck? We're not gaming. I mean, we might game. There, well, there's something. There we go. We found it, y'all. We found it. Yeah, I'm gonna turn this music down a little bit because it is blasting me. I don't know how it sounds for y'all. Guess that turns it down a lot for y'all. Turn this up a little bit, just about there. There. That should be all right. That should be all right. Welcome, welcome. Thank y'all for being here. I'm getting my thingamabobbers all squared up. Hey. All right, I am flying by the seat of my pants like I normally do on these morning shows. We got the dogs. We need to adjust the cameras because it is very cold for them right now. It's probably below 30 Fahrenheit freedom units.
The ship had restaurants, shops, and nightlife.
La Galleria.
And American touches, like a crazy robo-arm ride that flips you upside down.
American, je ne sais quoi.
Mom, you're from Wisconsin.
He is the rough one. He's the one that likes to throw his brother around, so to speak. And Sparky's the one that gets upset at the world. Well, as we have our free music ads going. Welcome to Range Fitness Online. My name is John. Personal trainer, not physical therapist. Personal trainer, I focus on mobility, movement, education, exercise education. My partner Paul, you see him on Tuesday nights. We do the gym fails, and we're kind of making a little turn going into yoga fails. So if you're looking for some education and just some knowledge and seeing things in practice, Tuesday night is an excellent resource. We also keep our VODs. We try to put them on YouTube as well. Clean up here because it's a mess. Been playing Madden 25 just because it was on sale. I got a quarterback, and so far I've rushed for 4 touchdowns. I think I'm actually made it 5 by the time I got there. I got the 178 rushing yards in a game. I've done 15 rushing touchdowns in a season, and I got the 1206 rushing yards in the season. That's what this is. This is our... What things are we trying to achieve, so to speak, and get the little stupid points in Madden to make my dominant quarterback even more dominant for no reason other than the lulz. All right. So like I said, tonight, it is cold. Welcome to Grinding Gains. Grabbing a coffee, whatever kind of grind you like. I mean, you could grind something else and enjoy your mornings as well. Learn how to get some gains, whether it be from strength, but more likely it's going to be from technique. 1, just as my niche, that's what I focus on. 2, you're trying to build up longevity for yourself in lifting. Doing it right is going to keep you there longest. And so today we're going to hop in. We've got a few people we're going to go peel back and look at. So last couple mornings we found a couple of people on, I think I put S FORMCHECK, didn't I? Tell me I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. It needs to be R. Oh, what? Subreddit. I guess it's just a Reddit, not a subreddit. Anyways, I use FORMCHECK. It's a decent subreddit or yeah, I guess it's a subreddit. I don't know what the fuck it's called nowadays. Such a boomer. Going through Reddit, using individuals who are looking for critiques, taking individuals who are looking to get better with their movements, whether it be because they don't know a lot of times you hear is like the first one that's up here, something just doesn't feel wrong, something feels wrong, but I'm not sure. All kinds of different things. Even for the uninitiated, so to speak, when it comes to exercise, like, movement will feel good or bad. Now, some of it can be just like you're doing something left-handed, but you're right-handed. So there's that kind of awkwardness that can be. But a lot of times we feel maybe one lat working really good, or we feel our one bicep working really good. Maybe we don't necessarily notice the bicep working, but in the other arm, we notice maybe some like forearm pain or something in the elbow. Overhead presses, a lot of times people might feel like a click or a pop is not painful. It just doesn't feel right. Why do we care? Why do you care? Do you care? If you do care, I'm here for you. If you don't care, listen for the people who do care, and maybe you will. All those are just indications of poor joint rhythm, if you want to think of it that way. Not that rhythm. But just the sliding, the smooth surfaces in a joint. Do they move freely without restriction? If they are, that's a good thing. We want to build from there, though. We want to make sure then we're about to get a dogfight. Hold on. Let's hope nobody gets angry this morning. We'll scoot back some, see if we can't stay in between them. Marky dog. He's just like mugging that camera, isn't he? Let's see what happens. Hopefully everybody behaves. So I'm sorry for the little break up there. Chain of thought. Appreciate y'all's patience. So again, looking over form checks. We won't care about form because we want the right muscles to do their jobs. We get other muscles kind of contributing in other ways. That's where we can create that is a compensation. And these will eventually lead into pain. Pain will then lead into injury in some form or fashion. Not trying to scare you. It's just the facts, right? You drive with a car with bald tires. No one's trying to scare you. Well, maybe some people are trying to scare you, but if you don't do something about the tires, you're eventually going to have a blowout, or you'll lose control and you'll skid and slide somewhere when you don't expect to. Blondie wants to play. Okay, release. Get him, Spark. Get him, Blondie. So that's why we care about our form. That's why we care about technique. When we just kind of throw a blind eye to those things and we say, it doesn't matter, or it's just movement, the body's allowed to move however, whichever, we're missing key components, and that logic fallacy is what sets us up for being sidelined. It's what stops us from being able to do things. When things don't feel right, listen to that voice in your head, make little adjustments, explore, figure out why you are noticing that difference. And as you dig down, you'll discover some stuff about yourself, so to speak. You'll learn movement. Every time I go work out, things feel a little different because I'm trying to change and feel things and just do them a little bit better, a little more improved. Doesn't mean you can't still work progressive overload. Doesn't mean you can't start working heavier weights. But what it means is we change the focus of our workout. We change our focus from completionist. We change our workout mentality from execution only, of like, I got the check in the box, got the punch on the card, whatever it is. You have like a workout diary. It's more than just filling in the little boxes that you did 3 sets of 10 or whatever. Learning again how things move, how you sense your movement. Are you off balanced? And as you develop, it's just like layers of an onion, right? It always more and more refined. How well are you balancing on your feet? Do you notice evenness in your feet? Does you feel like you're twisting, rotating? Are we tilting some way or form? You don't have to start there, right? But as you develop, those are things you're looking for and trying to root out, because all those are just little imperfections, little compensations. Those compensations, again, as it's talking about, will develop into pain. It will develop into an injury. And it will sideline you, whether it be for a few weeks to months and years, depending on how bad of like your knee goes or your back goes and things of that nature. So without further ado, without any more gum flapping, because I'm running late today and I got somewhere to be. Got a client this morning. We're going to peel back the 2 Redditors that we had formerly checked on and given them some comments. Reminds me of notes.
We can get help whenever we need it.
Wish they did tuba lessons too.
Oh, I can jot things down while we talking.
Online with H&R Block and get unlimited expert help at no additional cost.
2025.
H&R Block online products.
Man, it is cold outside for me. All right, we're gonna first get to this dude. Then I gotta switch cameras. All right. Let's go first to post, because I don't care about the overview. I think this is the one I may have checked on. Yeah, because I didn't see this one. Okay. We'll see what this one is first. if my internet wants to work. Da, 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 da. If I click on it, will it be better? There we go. Whatever. Maybe. Internet, warm up. Don't you hate this when you're trying to do something and it just ain't working right for you? Like, I just want to watch this video. And it's not cooperating. So we're just going to say sorry. Is that just going to be all of them today? Why is this one working so well? All right. It's not working either. What is our internet speed? Holy hell. I mean, it's not great, but it should be good enough. Uh-oh. Well, hell. What we got for this one? Hey, even these are... This is not looking good, y'all. This is not looking good. We're going to turn that off. Do I got any other crap on here that we can just maybe exit? Fuck off, Steam. We don't need you. Fuck off, Epic. The homepage is working, right? Is this working now? All right. Can I get these now? Maybe. Fucking internet. I need more hamsters. This is going to be infuriating for me to watch, and I know it's going to be terrible for y'all to watch. Just going to do a refresh. So we checked out this dude's form last time. And so again, I see instantly, just from the get, I don't like how his hands are. I don't like the braces on the wrists. I don't know that you need really these wrist protectors for squat. But this space, right? You see this space between his head and the bar? It's way too much. Way too much. And then again, I feel like he's about to let this bar slip down his back. You can see, maybe it's the angle. Maybe it's a hard angle to see. But it just doesn't look right. It looks like the bar is, again, too low on his back. If we look at this one, you can kind of see it the same way, right? He's got that same really far back. And again, the head is really far forward on all of these, right? We see that big, big gap. So let me see here. We're going to go to... What do we want? We want to see scapular anatomy, maybe. And I just really want to see. Can we get a twofer? I guess this might work. Oh, that's terrible. Okay, that's better. Still not quite right. Not. That's not right. It's just not what I'm looking for. There we go. This gives us some tissues to look at.
All right, let's talk about...
Let's not talk about it. I just want the picture. Ooh, this guy. This guy. I think what we can do here, we're going to even be really... This isn't really what I want either, though. Fucking A. Go away. Guess that would be better. That would... That guy... Okay, we'll get this one. We'll get this one because it's got the tissues, so we can see the tissues. Snips over here. Snip it. Snip it. We're going to snip this right there. We're going to take that. We're going to paint. New. I need to see my canvas with y'all. We're going to go. Zoop. We'll leave the muscles on there for now. All right. We're going to try to show this as best we can with paint. And I need a drawing thing. I'm a bobber. Marker. Ah, beautiful. Let's see. We got that there. And where's this gentleman? Where's our thing? Our dude. Our broski. So we're looking kind of, again, based on the top of his shoulder. Let's see when he comes down. Oh, great. Fucking internet broken again. My lord, I might just shoot myself today. Not shoot myself, but I may just end this. How are we doing? Bit rate's cooking, I guess. I don't know. Hope y'all aren't getting any drop frames. Me. We turn that off. Does that give me more bandwidth? Just have to listen to me breathing heavy into the mic. All right, so I want to get to the bottom of the squat and see what we can see. Can't see shit. Again, he's watching himself in the mirror, which isn't the end of the world. Oh, let me just pause. Ew. There we go. Sorry, I hit space and something changed over here. What I'm seeing here, besides the stupid buffering circle, it's frustrating, is all get out. Another snippet. We can draw on this guy. And then we're going to go back into paint. We'll put him over top first. So as we see here, we're going to just kind of hit all of the things that we're seeing. So first off, we see his eye gaze, right, is up here. Not the end of the world, because he's trying to work on technique, and he's probably watching himself in a mirror. That's what we're praying for, which is fine. But I would still encourage him to pull the chin down to where we're pulling that chin into the throat. All right, so it's not looking up and it's not looking down. It's pulling the head back into you, pulling your chin into the throat. So if he were to be doing that, right, then his spine would be more this way, right? His eyes would be somewhere here. His nose would be like there, so to speak. But again, we see the curve in the neck here. So that'd be the first thing, just off the cuff. We're looking at the bar. So first and foremost, if you're working on your technique, and I would say this gentleman needs to step all the way back. He needs to not worry about his max loads right now. He doesn't need to worry about lifting heavy right now. He needs to worry about building his technique. Because his technique, we see several compensations. We're seeing several things that are going to eventually cause issues, if they're not already. Like this head position can be very much an indication of, again, he may be having some neck pain or something else of that issue. Speculating. It could just be, again, he's trying to watch himself. Now, other things that to me are going to be causing issues with pain. Again, to me, the bar just still doesn't seem like it's in the ideal place for him. All right, I don't think I can. And we want that. So where is it? C1, about that C7, I want to say, right? We want that bar to sit just under that C7, I would say. Somewhere in here. And when we press our shoulder blades down and kind of scoop them around, right? So the shoulder blades and the muscles, we're going to try to have them coming down. But at the same time, they're wrapping around. Right? You can see these pink tissues in here, in this little triangle. That's the serratus anterior. I think they have it marked, right? Yeah, serratus anterior on the left side. And so what that does, again, is it scoops the shoulder blade around. You can use it for like a little bit of a push motion, but again, you're getting a little in the weeds on that. All right, and so as we're sitting down on that bar, it's not going to sit on any necessarily bony prominence, but it sits on this little shelf when we press our shoulders down on those rear delts a bit. And But for me, I feel like this gentleman might have the bar as low as here, underneath his shoulders, not sitting on top of his shoulders. Right? Because we can look at this bar. I guess I have to come back into here. Right? We're looking here. He might be right there. And again, it could be shoulder mobility issues as well that are causing not as great. The bigger thing for me, again, we'll talk about it in the top, is making sure we get a little more hip hinge. Now, let's get back into the weeds, less about bar placement for right now, is this core engagement or lack thereof. And so again, we kind of see is we get a little bit of a rounding, I think, in this back. And we watch it, we can see it. We'll likely see it form, but a little butt wink is occurring. He's got his knees in a good position over his toes, but what do we see at his heel? What do y'all notice in his heels? All right, we see this little space. And so that's an indication of his weight is shifting. And again, if we look at the bar, I don't know how straight we can draw this. But we look at the bar, right? The bar is forward of his midfoot. I want that weight to be kind of over this section of the foot. All right, somewhere in here more so. I'm trying. I dipped a little bit there. So again, we see that just that little bit, that 1 to 2 inch shift again, he's got 225 plus on this bar. I mean, we see 2 wagon wheels, so 2 45-pound plates. The bar is 45, so 5 times 45, right? 225. I don't know. I just know barbell math, so 225 or 245s on each side. Dog switched positions. That's okay. They're being quiet. The 225 on the bar, a lot of mass, a lot of weight. And we got several compensations. Again, bar placement will help with some of this. He's doing a good job of trying to get the knees over, but by what we see is by him trying to drive his knees forward, it's creating a heel lift. And we're also, based on him trying to get to this depth of whether he's going for parallel, whether he's going for hips below his knees, whether he's working for ass to grass, doesn't matter. Because the depth he's attempting is causing compensation. And this is what I mean. It's building your technique first and then challenging your ranges of motion is the best way to exercise. It's the best way to do resistance training. Let's get the paint out of the way. Has this decided to work for me yet? Please. And even here, I would pull my head back. Pull your head back. Try to maintain your wrist in that neutral position. And again, we can see the bar looks like it might be, again, it's a little bit, BRB. All right, we got my beating stick. What we beating? You get to obs. Does it work here? Okay. We're gonna sit this down here. Or we'll put it up here. Fuck it. And then I'm sorry, dogs. I'm taking over. All right. Let's see if I can run over a dog or anything. We got the bar up on the rack. So where this is like on my upper traps. I want to come. He is down here. Right, and we can see the difference, and I can just feel this isn't even on me right now. This is going to slide down my back a lot. So if we come again to that little nodule on the back of your neck, and just about there to that shoulder girdle, that's going to be a good space. And rolling the knuckles, tilting those elbows. And so, switch cameras. Me up there. All right. Okay. Try not to kick you, Spark. I'm going to try to talk as loudly as I can for this and not hit the microphone. So again, when we're trying to get this bar on our back placement, we're not going this low. Like that's just going to be too low and it's just going to roll off your shoulders. Again, we find that little bony nodule on the back of your neck, find the top of your traps, and then we're just going to let that just below it. Depending on your leanness, right, you may feel, or how muscular even you are up here, you may feel those bony little prominence up the shoulder girdle. Try to get that low bar squat, just getting right about in there. And then once you are under the bar, did I just do that whole thing muted? Son of a bitch. All I was saying is I think he's got that bar too low. And if we get back into that paint, when he's squeezing, you don't want to be again towards this red line. There's going to be this little nodule. That's still too high, but that's just starting you out. That's just kind of getting your first landmark. And then you're going to find that somewhere around the second blue line or so is where you're going to be your kind of happy place. Anywhere below that, it's going to feel like that's sliding off. Again, there's variations between a high bar and a low bar. It's somewhere in between these two, right? Don't get too stressed about that at this moment, especially if you're beginning. If you're more advanced and you're trying to find that you're trying to hit your quads more, hit your glutes more, right? You can change some of those weight angles And we were saying earlier, when this guy gets to the bottom, we see the bar is way far forward. Again, he's going to be feeling a lot more in his quads and his calves maybe than he is in his glutes and his hamstrings because of the way he's shifting his weight. God bless. This camera not loading or this video not loading right is just... Now I'm double talking, y'all. Fucking A. Sorry. Get frustrated at myself. Yeah, we see a little butt wink there at the bottom. Camera. Or internet more so. Yeah, so a little too deep on the shoulders. So again, best advice I can give this gentleman is he just needs to go just to maybe just the bar. Figure out this bar placement on your back. Find a couple different places without the heavy load. And maybe 95 if you want to try to do some working weight, or about 50 kilos if you're European, I would say. But an empty bar, and then just something smaller than the heaviest weights. So you challenge yourself. A box, right? Putting a box in there. We don't have the picture up anymore. Putting a box underneath you, a stool, something for you that's you can work on depth as well. So the bar position is going to be one thing. In the head position, and this is all going to be anterior tightness. There might be some lat tightness in there too, but I'm going to default to more some of the anterior compartments, so pec minor, subclavius. You may even have, because of the head jutting forward, some stuff in the throat. But just general, again, kind of exploratory palpations through there would help identify some of those things for you. And then making sure we have core engagement. That's why I get on this every time, but belts are the worst things for people. 225 if you need a belt, things not right. This is me arbitrarily pulling a number out of my ass. But if you're requiring a belt for more than 300 pounds or for less than 300 pounds, you're probably not using your core, or you're not using your core properly. Now, if you have some sort of medical necessity for a weightlifting belt, follow your doctor's advice. Don't follow some jabroni off the internet, right? Like, follow your doctor's advice. 90% of the people that use these belts are using it for weights that they shouldn't be, in that they are moving weights that are within the human ability to safely move. And by using that belt, they are robbing themselves of the opportunity to engage their core and create movement with their core engaged fully. This does help, and there's been times we've watched gym fails where these belts have likely saved somebody from blowing their back out. See, John, they are needed. Right? That's just a part of the picture. A lot of times it's individuals lifting too heavy of a weight. They've never really practiced proper core engagement, and now they've depended on that belt to get them to where they are. Or maybe they're doing something like an extreme kind of old style competition chest press where they get super hyper extended in the back, right? And so those belts will help them out with that, keeping their back from like popping through. But this is, again, we're talking about people taking things to an extreme, and that's all everybody ever sees, right? We only see the biggest fails. We only see the nastiest train wrecks. This kind of stuff, no one watches. Except, I guess, me, huh? And other people that hop on Reddit and watch FORMCHECK. And so right there at that bottom, you see how the pelvis is rotating. That's an indication he's losing his core. He's not keeping the core on. And again, he's trying to pull the chin in, but again, he's still looking in the mirror. So we have this length here. We want to try to close that down and then create that movement. Because even as he goes down, he cranes his neck more, watching himself, right? So again, the box underneath him. So you can already see that thing kind of rounding. Even more so. And that's where we start seeing the heels really start to lift. So, yeah, all in all, this guy, again, I think, good effort, not way to stick working with it, but ultimately is going to be Still work on bar position. Less weight. Butt wink. And then again, the core engagement. Now looking at what else can he do? Like these are, so a lot of times for me is again, we can't see his feet position, but as he steps in, we can kind of get that indication. We've got this splayed toe as well. Let's see if we can't. We'll reset one more time. Even now, we can kind of see again, it feels like his toes are rotated outward of his feet. Footsies. Maybe not so bad. We won't comment too much on it because it's just hard to see from this angle. Again, we get too rotated out, and that's a common thing to be cued and taught. But we get too far externally rotated with our feet. Get rid of this shit for a second. I try to draw this every time, and I apologize for people who have to deal with it. But if you were to draw two, imagine these are parallel lines that are hips width apart. Ideally, you want your big toe, the ball of the big toe joint, and your heel on that line. All right, and then you got the small pad over here, and then the rest of the foot. All right, and so however that works for you, you want to try to keep that big toe pad and your heel on that line. So you can, right? If you want to get just as much as you can, for whatever reason, whether it's you're trying to really work that power output or you're just trying to get the maximum load for yourself on something, right? You can still work to just barely eclipse it, right? And you still have the small pad of the foot over here, a little wide. And then we'd have this coming in over here, right? And this should be more probably. Now, these are two different feet, let's say, but ideally you would have them mirrored images of each other. But technically, the one on the left and the one on the right are still good. I would still allow someone to work this. Would I encourage the person on the right, my right here, to maybe either rotate the heel out a little bit or maybe rotate the toe in a little bit? Yeah. This gentleman or person on the left, I might encourage them to rotate their foot out a little bit. Or maybe I'll have them rotate their heel in, just again, depending on geometries and how much space is in between their legs already. Some people also, I find that some clients naturally will rotate their foot out versus their heel. So sometimes it's just easier to cue them to rotate the foot. Anyways, that's me getting into the weeds about this stuff. But if you can get these parallel lines and then find that big toe joint, not your big toe joint. All right, there's no phalanges here. No little toe, no toes, right? If the toes are here, that should be your big toe, and then 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, big toe somewhere here. 1, 2, 3, 4. In the base of the foot. And then while we're here, the mass, that bar path, the entire time from the top to the bottom, right, should be running through that middle of the foot. And if that's happening, you are going to be the most stable you can be through your feet in the ground. So your foundation will be as strong as possible. And from there, you're going to be able to drive into the floor from a stable position. And we get too far wide, we're getting more to a tightrope walk. Does it allow you for more contraction of your external rotators and the glutes and things of that nature? Perhaps. Like a sumo deadlift or a sumo, I don't think they do sumo squats. I mean, you can do a sumo squat. But those are also, again, recruiting different muscle patterns and a little bit more of an advanced lift for people. And you could still, to some degree, apply this. But again, I know a lot of people are going to go way, way outside to about that 45 or so. And it just biases the hips into to where the glutes are already kind of pre-contracted, or the external rotators are kind of pre-contracted. It shortens the range of motion by a lot. If you don't believe me, right? Think of a triangle. So in this triangle, it's all wonky. It's like a Hershey kiss. But all right, this is X. And this is X, right? And this is whatever your width is. If we go wider, I don't have anywhere to draw this shit. But if we go wider than that, and then we come back in. First off, X has to stay the same, right? Your legs are only one width. So if this is the same, we make this wider. This has to be shorter. It's just math. Math be mathin'. But we're not going to go through Pythagorean theorems this morning. So getting off into the weeds on that stuff. So let me real quick. We're going to pop in here. Let's see if he's got some good advice in here too. You need to breathe into your diaphragm to brace, not your chest. Keep your neck neutral and slow down the descent to control. This is pretty lightweight. Lose the belt and sleeves. Get better at your technique. Then use the aids when you're... All right, so I like most of everything. This is not lightweight. This might be lightweight to him. To creepy artichoke. This might be lightweight to artichoke. Yeah, in different bar positions and or... Again, weight is relative. I can make somebody feel like 45 pounds is the heaviest thing they've ever lifted. In fact, I've done it. I've made a career out of it. 225 could be light for somebody, but it could also be super fucking heavy. So, but I think what he means by this is, again, as far as what the human species, creature, animal, the muscles and the structure of the human body can handle this, right? And this is why I say about if you're going over 315, definitely when you get to the 400s, I think a lot of people probably about that 350, 365 is a pretty, like you start seeing more and more of it having to be there, because even if you had the strength, there's just a lack of integrity, so to speak. If you've ever seen, have you ever seen a piece of metal deform under tension, or if you're pulling something or towing something with hooks, and it's maybe pulling whatever it needs to pull, but you can start seeing the hook start to stress and start healing away from whatever it is. That's happening to the body to some degree. We lack the tensile, be able to generate almost enough tensile strength, and then plus it just helps keep you in a safe position for those heavy things. So in case something does go wrong, speed, mass, all those things are going to increase whatever injury may or may not happen, or may or may not. If you go faster, it's going to be a worse accident, right? If you're going faster with heavier objects, it's going to be a bigger accident, right? So again, you think like a bicycle car accident, get into a bike wreck at like 5 miles an hour. Yeah, it sucks, but you'll probably just brush off. But you get into a car accident with 2 cars at 5 miles an hour, like there's a lot more damage. There's going to be a lot more just because there's that mass that had to be accounted for. Is there a reason you squat with such a low bar? Isn't low bar preferred to a high one? Just starting to read and starting strength, and he recommends a low bar. But see, again, slight ad. To me, I disagree. I think his technique is pretty. It's not terrible. Terrible would be the wrong word. It's a little too strong a word, but he has a lot of room for improvement. And again, I would go to the bar. See what else. I think what you're doing is low bar squat, a wide grip would be much easier on your shoulders. Yeah. Again, these to me, I don't like these comments because they're not benefiting anybody. If anything, they give you a false sense because you can see how the hips rise and then things. So, but I like that he's searching he's learning to self-educate. He's learning to get better. He's trying to get better. And that's all it is. So let's get in here. We had a couple of our notes and then we'll move on. Oh my gosh. I can't read my notes. This is my issue. All right. To my eye, it still seems low. What else do we see? Yeah, so Leswade's going to be his friend. Leswade's going to be your friend. Better engage core. Better engage core. Feel your feet staying flat. And 2. Straight upwards. Burst. Hips first. Then forwards as seen in video. Last thought. Butt work. I said butt work. No, box work. So box squats too. To help find depth and prevent butt wink. All right, so that's enough of that one. Let's see, we'll just slide back in and give him a quick message. What are we time? We're fucking hour in. I probably chit chat long time for this one. We're gonna try to hit one more guy because I got about an hour here. So, all right, jockey 3. I'll leave you, and then we are into this gentleman, GX Armenia or Maxia. Let's see what he's got going for us today. So what do we? Let's see what we commented on. And it was ridiculous. Morning, I watched the stream, and now I wish I hadn't worn such big sweaters. I've been able to analyze spine movement. Thank you for your helpful insights. Okay. So he was a squatter as well that we looked at. Okay, I remember this one. So we were watching this one originally. All right, so there's another squat. Let's see if our internet will work with us today. Gotta refresh. I'll say off the cuff, that don't look too shabby right now. Little maybe butt wink at the bottom. Fucking kill my hamster. Internet is aggravating. Oh my God. Why is my internet so trash right now? Does the cold affect the internet? I know it sounds silly. But does the cold really? Like 37 megabytes for download. What trash. It was like 100 just less than an hour ago. Your internet connection is fast. The hell do y'all define as fast? It's not dial-up, so it has to be fast. Like, I don't have anything else running other than fucking OBS and this shit. Ugh. I guess I can kill paint, but this is kind of frustrating. I got a letter from Xfinity saying I was using too much internet, and yet when I need to use my fucking internet, I get this kind of crap. Oh man, y'all, I apologize for this. This sucks. Let's see what we can do with what we got right now. So So first off, I like that he's already using lighter weight, and we see what lighter weight does for an individual. Now he might be he looks a little smaller than the other guy, which is fine. Whatever, we're all different sized humans. But as he's working in his squat, he's going to have a lot more access to challenge his ranges of motion appropriately and to, again, explore some of these things, right? You have 200 pounds on your back and you're at the bottom. And if you've not developed some of these techniques, like you're just getting the fuck up, right? Like it doesn't matter. You're just, I need this off of me. I need to get it off of me. You've never put more than 100 pounds on your back. It is something. You know, there are some heavy lifters, like they'll just, especially when they're getting to like 400 plus or 300 plus even, right? They just put the weight of the bar, or they put the weight on the bar, and they'll just stand with it and sit there braced and working on just keeping everything nice and tight and gaining a feel of just what that much mass on your frame feels like. Because it is something else. Oh, what's up? What up, brother? What's up? How do we say this? Car designer. Not care. Car. How we doing today, guy? Or gal? Person? Thanks for the follow. Much appreciate it. So what's a fitness tip or a form check that you may have for others? A lazy afternoon. How about me? We're getting together. We got maybe about another 30 minutes or so, 45 minutes here, doing some form checks here on stream, and then I gotta go earn some Twitch money. I go out into the freezing cold. Just working on my third website design, polishing before sale. Well, good for you. Good for you, man. Uh-oh, we got long-haired cycle, cheap viewers on stream. Well, guess what, long-haired cycle? We don't pay for anybody. My viewers are the cheapest viewers already because I don't pay for them. Found you and recommended where you live in the USA. Where in the US? I live in Texas. Oh, I know. I'm new, but I'm not that new. You said you're having a lazy afternoon, which means you're not in the USA. New but retired. Excellent. Congratulations. Nope, but wished to visit. Okay. Where art thou hail? You're Europe, Asia, Africa, Australia, Central America. Well, no, because it's at 9 afternoon in Central America. Goddamn time zones, John. Middle East. Oh, cool. Well, good luck and everything. I know. Well, at least from my media standpoint, it's a little crazy over there. From Russia, even crazier. Yep, be safe. Got any? Do you work out at all? Got any fitness tips or form checks that you share with people? Right. So, you know, I live in the hood, so you know it might be just as unsafe in the hood. Over here. See if this thing's working now. Can we watch this cat? Oh, it's smooth now. Dude, is he sweating that much? Oh my God, what was that? I work out 5 days a week. Fuck yeah. Mostly at home plus dumbbells, sometimes at gym. How long you been doing 5 days a week? That's a hell of a commitment, man. Is it always resistance training as well? Or do you, when you say 5 days, is that like cardio and resistance training? Dude, is this guy spitting or does he have that much sweat just fall off of him? I'm sorry, GX or Mania. I don't mean to be making fun of you. It just caught me by surprise. I don't know what that was. If he's exhaling through his mouth. Whoa. Okay, let's focus on his squat. not. He's at his own house. Let him work out like he wants. Oh shit! Look at this dude. He got a second angle for us. Cardio 20 minutes, chest, legs, biceps, triceps for 1 to 2 hours. Holy hell. Okay, this dude wants some help. Like, I love it. I'm loving him giving me all these angles. And this squat looks really solid. I feel there might be some unevenness into his grip, but that might be... Like, I'm looking at the knurling here. It looks like the knurling is closer to this right shoulder and this left shoulder. There's some things that look different to my eye. I'm having a hard time enunciating it. Dude, that's excellent. So you do full body routines, or do you do like push pull splits or bro splits? Why does he post his angles in public? Well, so this, I'm not sure if you're familiar with Reddit. I guess you can't see, that's where we are. All right. So social media website, Reddit, and in the social media, they have kind of threads or chat rooms. Around 70 types of exercise. Holy shit. And so we're just doing some form check for him. So he's just giving us different angles. And so like when I'm working with when I'm working with a client, like I was walking all around them. I'm checking different angles to try to see everything. So because we can't always see everything that we want to see from the side. So we see here, right? We can see we got a pretty, I like what I'm seeing here. The thing, if it's sweat or the drool, I don't know what that is. It's distracting me. Only thing I can see really that I would encourage is making sure that low belly, fitness trainer, focus on movement education, exercise education, and basically people who have pain, helping them get them out. Oh, thanks. Dopey as shit, man. But yeah, so a lot of my clients, they have some sort of pain, or they're coming back from surgery, or they've already seen physical therapy and they're still just not right. And so getting to basics and helping people understand that movement causes their pain. And from there, we can build up and progressively overload. That is our hope. That is the plan. You're way ahead of me, car designer, or I'm way ahead of you. I don't know. Now we're trying to... So our hope in our business model. So on Tuesdays, me and my partner, we get on and we do a gym fails review. And right now we're doing yoga fail reviews. And we're trying, again, just show what happens when either the uninitiated bite off too much, or if we're not using safeties, or again, just whatever out there, just kind of using that. Today, the Thursday mornings, I go over actual form checks of people that are wanting to get critiques. So again, helping them. And then Fridays, oh yeah, you can. You can see my wheel. I do a wheel of agony. So video games and then exercise based on how I do. And they were trying to create uploads and get those, put that on there. So it's a slow process, my guy. Just making all this kind of, like, as with anything, right? It seems so easy. It's all you do is sit there and talk in the camera. All you got to do is make some vidges. God, does editing suck. If you will ever need experienced creative design edits for social media, appreciate you. Right now, my buddy, his daughter is helping us. She's a video editor, so it's just splitting time, but we will take help when we can, man. So for this gentleman, though, back to Mr. Germanics, I don't know. Banana enthusiast, good for him. I hate bananas. So I've big focus on the stomach engagement, and then we can see here that the head's kind of 12 off. So having that head pulled back more, and if we were to take this back into paint for a hot second, we get. We'll slide this. Don't save. Ooh. And this is similar to the other gentleman. Need brushes. But we're too short down here, right? We're pulling the chin downward. If we just draw as best of a straight line as I can up this way, right? We want our ear and our head to be a little more back this end. I watch a guy on YouTube. He's a good fitness trainer, honestly. I develop him because of him, and I don't pay for his courses. Honestly, his channel grows so much. Oh, who is it? Oh, you're in general problem with finding a remote job now since a year. Oh, man. You use Fiverr at all? I know we used to pop on Fiverr and try to get some. We used that early on for some editing. What fitness channel? I'm always looking for people to review. Yeah, so as far as this squat, again, I would say think about that head position just a little bit. Let's see what else. I gotcha. Sorry, I want to see the bottom of this squat. I think I just ruined it. Upwork needs more connects to buy, always in bid, more and to apply. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I can imagine it's got to be tough, and especially with everything becoming so digital nowadays, it's just flooded with people who don't know. I remember looking at Fiverr, and it was almost overwhelming for me. Yeah. So so what I'm seeing or I'm noticing here for this gentleman is I feel we're losing a little bit of core connection. I battled with this early on at one time. Let me get another. That right there. And so what I feel is if we look at his hips and how they're kind of spilling is what I refer to it as. I feel like the knees are almost locked out to some degree. So again, it feels like the knees are coming back far this way. And if we kind of look at the pelvis, that was a bad second line. But if we look at the pelvis, it looks like we're tilted downward. Let's go with red. That might contrast better for people. I feel his pelvis is tilting this direction. And which means if that's true, if that's the case, one, he may be feeling a little bit of tightness back here. But what we really need to focus on then is again pulling our pelvis up through the lower abdominals. And from there, that gets us engaged and we can create that kind of, again, that packed or like you're bracing properly. And then from here, create that hip hinge and the knee bend to lower yourself. Yeah, that's going to be a big thing. We see this a little bit. A lot of times when we get to the top, people just kind of let go, catch their breath, and then they try to re-engage. But if you can hold all that tight while you're doing it, and then when you get to the top, you don't let it go. You don't go and then try to catch it back. You just keep braced and get to the next rep. You develop that. Now you're really creating some strength and endurance, and you're going to be a workhorse. Let's see. India people placing $5 gigs, Ukrainian sellers for 50. Same thing, yeah. Jordan, yeah. Jordan, yeah, or yo. Fitness. Okay. I'll check him out. See what he's about. What's he got? 4 million. God damn. I don't want posts. I was trying to see how long he'd been around. That's from 2013. Cool. I'll check him out later. Appreciate it. So back to Germanics. Looking good from this side. Core engagement is going to be a big one. Now, if we look at the hands here, not too bad. I would just get a little more tilted as elbows. And we see his wrists are kind of broken too. And that's common. And just small things. Just roll the knuckles. And then that little tilt of the elbow. And I think, again, it looks like we may have some shoulder dysfunction. And this is normal. Everybody's got some of it. To me, again, it looks something's not even with these shoulders. And I'm just having a hard time enunciating it. Like, if we look at just kind of how even I guess this angle looks different than this angle, right? This upper arm here looks to be lower and closer in, where this one looks to be flared a little bit more. And then from here, we can see again a little bit of maybe of a arch back or sway back. And we look down here at the feet, even not terrible. We were talking earlier about having the big toe joint in line, or the big toe joint in line with the heel as we create those rotations of the feet. If anything, I feel like again that left one looks maybe it's more rotated than the other. Again, splitting hairs a little bit, but just things to be paying attention to as one works these things. And we get to the bottom of the squat. So this too, again, maybe shadows, but I feel that left ankle looks to be a little bit caving in. And so that caving in of the ankle is going to be issues for the knee, which can mean the knee is going to want to collapse in some. And so by helping keep your knees even, we open that foot up a little bit more to help keep the knee tracking in that position. So this could be, again, some things like maybe roll out your foot a little bit, do some single leg work on this left leg. There's one I like to do. It's called we call it flamingo, but you basically just stand on your one leg and then cross the opposite leg over, rotating that hip, helping work some internal tibial torsion of that lower leg. This is a really good squat. I really like what he's doing here. I think at the only so we get to the bottom, we get one more here. Watch the bottom here. Do we bounce out? Not bad, not bad. So again, one last little tip would be is just get to the bottom and pause and own it. Oh shit, man, I'm missing you over there, car designer. I don't know. Any tips how to make wrist bigger, like how you see them on YT reels? I don't know. I don't know what you mean by wrist bigger. So like your wrists are just bone, right? So it's like your ankles. There's not going to be too much to build up around there. There's not much muscle to develop in that region. So anything that we articulate in our hands, there's some muscles in the hands, but again, the fingers don't have a lot of muscle to develop. So the only reason why people get thicker fingers is just actually the tendons. Well, one is going to be fat, but as far as in the fingers, that's going to be a lot of tendon and development, and that takes a long time. Like that just doesn't happen overnight, and that's not really something you build up for. Your hands can get a little more muscular because we do have some muscles in the hands, so things like squeezing, or if you wanted to do you can get buckets of rice, put your hands in the rice and then open and close. You could do also things like that for your wrist and your rotators of your hands in the rice. But again, that's going to really work more your forearms. But as far as your wrist, there's nothing that's really going to build your wrist. So you're just looking for size on the wrist or forearms, or what makes you want to work out your wrist? A very non-traditional thing to work out. Not a bad thing to work out. Just wondering. Just curiosity. Forearms. That's different. Yes. Okay. I'm with you now. So yeah, forearm. So any muscular development is always going to be based on your basic overload principles. So if it's size one is looking for, then it's going to be, again, getting blood flow and just reps. So things as far as like, again, you could do wrist flexion and extension exercises with a dumbbell. You can do some rotational efforts with that as well. And farmer carries are going to be great for that, but those are going to be more isostatic movements. So again, working the idea of like the bucket of rice, get you like a 5-gallon bucket of rice. I guess it was that like a 2-liter bucket of rice. And then you could put water in it to make it maybe a little easier. But again, if you just do dry rice, and then you can put your hands in there, and that'll work a lot of those things for you, rotating them in and out. And then, like you said, you maybe rested your hand and did some light dumbbell extensions, and then you can flip it over and do the flexions as well. Anything that works into those. And then, like I said, he's going to be more of trying to get reps into it. Things like Romanian deadlifts, any type of rowing, all of those will stimulate your forearms. But again, those are working those like latching. So what you could do though, if you were looking to change that up, Are you familiar with a product called Fat Grips? So that's what I would recommend too, is looking for these things. And so what this will do is you can get different sizes of them, but they're going to make your hand have to hold a different thickness. And so that'll challenge your forearms as well in different manners. So you could do these and this still do bicep curls. Just you'll have to do a lot lighter than probably what you're used to because of the grip change. And last would be, again, anything you use with any type of grips, this stuff will help. And you can even change too, doing towels or other things of that nature, just if you're trying to spice things up. My guy, I was planning on staying for a few more minutes, but I got some things that have come up. I got to go help my wife with a few items, and then I got to get to work. Care Designer, I appreciate you. Thank you so much for hanging out. I'll be back Friday evening, 6:30 Central Time. I don't know what that is worldwide. And we'll be doing some Wheel of Agony. And thank y'all for all being here. Sorry for having to jet so quickly. I will let you find see you waiting next stream. Appreciate you. I'm gonna let y'all find y'all's own channel to go follow. I ain't gonna rate anybody right now. Like I said, I gotta go help my wife. Thank y'all. Be easy.